An opening statement from Coach, and we'll open up for questions.
Give Delaware a ton of credit. First half, they played at a super high level. We couldn't get them guarded. So I can blame our defense, but at some point they made 8 threes. They had us spaced out. We couldn't keep the ball in front. They just threw it to the high post and power drove us and got layups. So give them a lot of credit. I give our guys a lot of credit because I thought today was a reflection of who we've been all year. We've struggled. We've not won as many games as the players would like. We certainly haven't won as many games as the coaches would like. And we were in position where we could have folded up. I mean, we're down 20 and getting 0 stops, and we ended up having the ball, I think, 3 times with a chance to go ahead, and we just couldn't make that one, extra play. We just couldn't get out of our own way a little bit down the stretch. But proud of the resilience the guys showed, and I thought the leadership from our seniors, they really tried hard and kept guys moving forward in spite of all the injuries and everything we had to deal with.
Did it feel like you were just kind of stacking one good possession on top of each other there in that run as you started to chip away there?
Yeah, we came out at halftime, and what we talked about was that we were just trying to win the first 4 minutes. And we weren't giving big numbers. Our goal was to get it down to 12 at the 12-minute mark. That's all we were trying to do. We were at 15 something to go at that first media. We already had it down to what we had talked about at halftime. And we had a couple plays that were really hurtful. But most of them were offensively because we just needed to keep scoring. They're a really bad matchup for us defensively. Camden plays behind the arc, and so we're stretched out. And in the second half, Sabry was able to play, and a guy playing on a bionic leg and just wasn't able to play for 3 straight weeks, and he just was refusing to come out. I told him, you let me know if you need one, and he just wouldn't sit. And and that changed the game because then we were able to play another wing, and we were able to keep them in front, and they didn't get the easy layups that they got on us in the first half.
CJ, what was kind of working for you there in the second half as things unfolded?
Really, just my teammates able to set screens for me, get me open, and once I was able to see that first shot going, it kind of got going from there.
Coach mentioned just coming so close and tying it a couple times and not being able to get ahead. Did it feel like it was just like you were trying so hard to get to erase that deficit that there was just only so much left in the tank?
Right, yeah, for sure. We worked hard, we clawed back at the deficit, but it just didn't go our way. But we definitely fought to the end. We didn't lay down like Coach was saying, and I feel like we fought very hard.
I know the guy to your left had a great season, but what do you make of what he was able to do today for you guys?
Well, I mean, CJ, I could go on for hours about the season he's had because it was really kind of a 2-part thing. And usually with transfers, it takes a semester to just kind of get used to the pace of the game. And then our offense evolved as the season went on. And he went from a guy who was kind of a shooter to a guy who became a scorer and was able to get himself to the foul line, was able to make better reads on screens. I mean, early in the year, if we set a down screen for him, he just ran off it. By now, I mean, he's able to slow down, speed up, take this angle. To play on the top side. He back cuts, loops it on the other side. And if you look, we wear these little GPS things. I mean, he's running 6 miles most games. He's running 6 miles to try to get shots off. And our other guys know we need to get him the ball, and they screen for him. So he's in a really good role for him, and he performed it at the absolute highest level. And his best days are just ahead of him because as he has an off season to get stronger, as he has an off season, in the weight room and watching film and things. I mean, you have things at your disposal at our level that you don't in junior college or in prep school because you just have more availability of film, more access to workouts, more coaches in the gym and are able to try to help you. And, CJ, I'm telling you, from January 1 on, was a first-team All-League player. I mean, he averaged almost 20 a game, and his percentages are insane. And if you look on the efficiency stuff, he was almost the most efficient guy in our conference, and the kind of hard shots he has to take. And he gets nothing easy. And it was extra hard on him because we had a couple guys that weren't 3-point threats, So the other team was really able to load up on him. I'm really proud of him for how he handles his successes and he just gets back to work because, he took 20 shots. And I can tell you this, there are very few guys you can coach that take 20 shots, and everybody in the locker room, coaches, players, were happy he got 20 shots. Usually what you have is two guys over here that wanted the ball more and I mean, that's just what you deal with. And we had none of it, and it is because of his ability to connect with guys in the locker room and be a great teammate.
In a similar vein, the way you guys were able to play the second half of league play and then today, obviously not an ideal season with the injuries like you mentioned, but you had to, what did you make of how well you guys were able to hold things together, at least as well as you could?
Yeah, I'm really proud of the seniors because I'm telling you, their attitudes were great every day. Sabri Phillip hasn't had one bad day in 3 years. Hasn't. Andre Snodey kind of took over I hate to say tough guy because he's always been big and strong, but he kind of just gave us a presence. Like he didn't want to lose, and he was, he had 20 points, 15 rebounds, a couple games, did stuff like that. He really got better through the year, and Ben White was really solid for us. I mean, he was. I mean, tonight, he's close to a double-double. He was one of the top offensive rebounders in our league, in spite of being arguably the smallest center in our league. Now, his defensive rebounding numbers are not particularly good because he's undersized, but his offensive numbers are great. And so I give those guys credit for their attitudes. But as I step back and look at the program, the exciting thing is, Toby's sitting out, and he's a very good player. Colin O'Connor really became a nice player. I mean, he really just became a nice player. I mean, there were stretches in the game tonight where he was unguardable, and his defense is elite. If you just watch him on the ball, it is elite. And then CJ is terrific, and I was excited about what Quinn Gorman got done. So we've got some really good younger guys that need to have a good off season, and then we've got to effectively recruit, and then we need to stay healthy. And I think we do all those things, we'll look a lot different in 6 months.
Any other questions? All right, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.